Good morning. I wanted to pop back on here and I wanted to say, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And the topic that I wanted to talk about is being the odd one out. I feel like all of us go through that in our life where we're trying to figure out what are we doing with our life? Where are we going? Where is God really leading us with our life? And I know for me, I've always been the black sheep of my family. I've always been the one I felt like that have been kind of pushed around, teased, misunderstood, not really understanding why I was so different, you know. But I had a lot of older people that would come up to me when I was with my mom when I was a little girl and would say, "You're so beautiful, you have such a beautiful spirit, and I do believe that you have a calling over your life, young lady." And I never knew really what it meant. I just would say, "Oh, well, thank you, and be polite and keep it moving. But as I started getting older, I started experiencing some of the same things as I experienced in my family. Basically, being the black sheep, basically being the odd one out, basically, just feeling like I didn't really fit, you know. And the only place where I knew where I found my peace and my rest was with God. I didn't feel like I was being judged. I didn't feel like I was being, misled or leading or anything. I found total restoration within God. And it took me a while to get there. I had my ups and downs. But the more of the story is, I want to just say this. If you've ever experienced this right here before, being the odd one out, just know that you are special. That it's 9 times out of 10 a calling over your life and you're chosen by God. Okay? So a lot of times God wants to see what we're going to do with our life. And a lot of times when you go through a lot of trials and tribulations, it's not for nothing. Okay? Because God will put his strongest warrior, princesses and princes, to the test. And so I feel like I'm absolutely that. And I wanted to say, you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. Until next time. Bye bye.